Probably about the time I was about to turn 14 and learned my first 2 chords on a guitar, a girl walked over and spoke to me. Right then and there, I thought, I got to do this for a living. That changed my life. After I got out of high school, I was told that I had to go to college. I decided to go to Alabama, and I started playing with college bands, and eventually met up with Duane and Gregg Allman, and Duane called me one day and said, Paul, we fired our bass player, and our drummer is getting drafted. What do you think about us joining your band? I thought about that long. We went to St. Louis for our first gig, and first few nights we played there, Bill McEwen in the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band came into the club. He went out to a payphone and called the record company and says, I've just discovered the next Rolling Stones. What he discovered was the next Allman Brothers Band. We signed with Liberty Records. Duane moved to Muscle Shoals to become a session player, and I moved back to Tuscaloosa. One day the phone rang again. That's 2 fateful phone calls I'd received from Duane over the years. He was in Muscle Shoals. He wanted to know if I'd drive up from Tuscaloosa and play on some demos. Phil Walden was there, and Phil says, well, why don't you be in this band with Duane? I said, I don't want to do that. He says, if you won't play in this band with Duane, I'm building a studio in Macon. Would you consider moving to Macon and being a part of the studio band? And I thought, Macon, where's that? About the same time, Duane had moved to Macon, and he had his new band put together, who were the Allman Brothers Band. And so we were all here, brand new recruits. The first album I did was a band called Eric Quincy Tate. Shortly after that, they signed a band, and they happened to be the Marshall Tucker Band. They went in the studio with Johnny Sandlin and cut some demos. They didn't like it too much. So they said, Hornsby, you try it and see what you can come up with. We had a hit smash album right out of the chute, and everybody's still playing Can't You See to this day. As Marshall Tucker started headlining, they had Charlie Daniels' band to open shows for them. One day he asked me, would I be interested in doing their next album? We started to work, and we came out with the Fire on the Mountain album. And it was a giant record. By 1980, Capricorn Studios had gone out of business, had bankrupted. I decided I wanted to record again, and I got to looking for a building. And it's been known as Muscadine Studios to this date. Capricorn was just like lightning striking, and it struck several times. We all had our basic sounds, and it started out right here with the Allman Brothers Band and Marshall Tucker. The music was created here in Macon. I can play that tune better than Clint Eastwood can.
That's pretty good.